Greetings. Good Tuesday evening to you. What's happening, my friends? How are you? It's good to see everyone. It's good to be seen by everyone. I hope everybody's doing just fine and dandy this evening, because I know I am. Normally, Tuesday is not something to get excited about, but I'm just going to jump straight into it. Stranger Things Season 4 trailer has dropped. And I'm going to tell you guys something. This sucker, greetings to Indiana, Fred Daniel. I greet you from Florida. Hail to you, Indiana. This sucker is primed for some great AD&D gift wrapping, guys. I am hyped about this coming season of Stranger Things. If I have a single complaint, is that they're splitting in half. We're getting like 4 episodes at the end of May. Then we're dry. We're dry until June. And then we get the rest of it. But guys, I'm excited about this. I am stoked about this. I did a screenshot. Let me see. I've been having luck with OBS lately, so this is probably a good way to screw up that luck. But let me see if I can Let me see if I can share this screenshot from the trailer with you. Now, I can't play the trailer for many reasons. Audio, just copyright struck all over hell and gone. But I'm gonna see if I can share this with you here. Share screen. Share screen. Okay. So I'm going to do this. Let's see. Because app sharing sometime in OBS is a little sketch. It's a little sketch. I don't know. Maybe we'll try it with the app sharing. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's open this here. And let's add image, add existing. Create new image. Okay. Browse. We'll go to the desktop. Okay, all right. It's right there over my mug. Right there, lower left, guys. Right there, just check it out in all its goodness. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Dungeon Master screen. Doesn't that just do it for you? And this particular shot is right at like 2 minutes and 37 seconds in the trailer, if you want to go watch the trailer. Hello. So yeah, 2 minutes, 37 seconds into the trailer, we get a glimpse of this absolute legend playing D&D. He's doing this over a table full of minis and AD&D books, and I, for one, am here for it. And now this gets a little spoilery. If you don't like spoilers, if you don't want spoilers, maybe take a hot minute, step away. All right, everybody that doesn't want to get spoiled. Today, IGN dropped an interview with the Duffer Brothers, the bad guy in this season. They're referring to as Vecna. How cool is that? I am completely geeking out. And here's the thing. In previous episodes, of course, Demogorgon and then the Mind Flayer over the course of a couple of episodes, couple of seasons, rather. Hello, Mobius. Good to see you. But in those first few seasons, it was always kind of, It was something that the boys coping with the trauma of seeing an extra dimensional creature sort of made them frame it as best they could. So, Demogorgon, Mind Flayer. But in the word, as it was explained to me, I read an interview on IGN, but there's also talk of how the villain in this is Vecna, not they're calling it Vecna. And that just blows that just opens up so many questions. Are they going completely meta here? Are they just going completely D&D cartoon, two parallel universes existing, one where D&D is real, one where D&D is not real? And now because of the Upside Down, they've started to bleed into each other. And the mastermind behind this is Vecna. I don't think so. I would like to believe that, but I don't think that's what they're doing with the trailer. I do not believe that's what they're doing with the trailer. Rather with the name, with the name Vecna. So it's a little, I think it's a little too soon to tell. Honestly, I just think Vecna is just kind of a code name. Again, like Demogorgon, like the Mind Flayer, which sort of straddled seasons 2 and 3. There's a lot to focus on in this episode. There's a lot of interesting stuff going on. We get a Max story arc. She's still coping with Billy's death, which, I mean, at the visceral level, we can say, yeah, I'm glad Billy's dead. He was a POS, and he kind of was. But at the same time, there's circumstances, man, right? If you watch the whole series, there's circumstances. You can't just, looking back, see it in your rearview mirror, the whole thing, you can't really completely hate Billy. And you certainly can't hate him for becoming a victim of the Mind Flayer and doing what he did. Luther Pendragon says, this is Hollywood. They will screw it up and make it all unpalatable. Convince me I'm wrong. I think the previous 3 seasons have been amazing. I thought it dragged a little at the end of season 2. And that's really, like, season 2 could have been 5 or 6 episodes, and you could have done without the short arc of 11 running away to Chicago and then coming back. That's about it. He wakes up, can't hate Billy, challenge accepted. I mean, no, Billy was pretty awful, but when we kind of start to unpack his story, but in the trailer, Max is sitting at Billy's grave. She's clearly broken up. She is clearly still processing Billy's death. She's not like, woohoo, my abusive older brother is dead, and that makes me happy. I hope you're wrong too. Yes, Mara, am I the only one who thinks Stranger Things is meh? I mean, I get it. If it's not your cup of tea, it's not your cup of tea. But I'm here for it, man. I'm digging it. I'm enjoying it. And I'm liking the fact that, the kids in Stranger Things are basically, I mean, they're us, right? Their ages kind of follow ours, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good in kind of following that progression. They're 10 or 11 years old, right as D&D is peaking out, Atari 2600s. If you're Gen X, that's us. Does that make sense? That's us. But anyway, I am giddy with excitement. I'm interested to see what they're going to do. I really think this time they're bringing some AD&D goodness. And I'm not gonna I'm not gonna slag the product. I will say there's a couple of things I'm speculating about. I think Billy is in some form reaching out from beyond. Because remember when I said there's a scene where Max is sitting at Billy's grave? There's another scene when the whole gang is with her and Max is sitting there and she starts to levitate off the ground. Now, unless it's 11 picking her up for reasons unknown, because 11 has her powers back all of a sudden for that scene, then that really only leaves Billy to be doing that, unless Max has some kind of powers too. But Max's mom was not part of the experimental group, the MK Ultra thing that went on. Now, something else, and this is a blink and you'll miss it moment. Well, the preamble is not a blink and you'll miss it, but that package from the USSR, which strikes me as a little weird. Are they really letting prisoners send mail back to the US? Well, I hope everybody in Hawkins is okay. I'm imprisoned inside the Soviet Union in a secret laboratory deep in Siberia. The weather is here. I wish you were beautiful. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that package makes it home. And the other point is there is just a brief flash of a couple of people in a bush plane, which is just like a light aircraft that's adapted for rough country work, flying over Siberia. And we see a couple of bearded folks in the cockpit as it's flying away. A rescue of Hopper, perhaps? We'll see. We shall see. So I'm excited. I'm pumped for it. Will they end it here? I've heard that they were going to do 5 and then call it quits. But it seems to me like everything is wrapping up. One other point. Robert Englund approached them about getting a role, and they apparently, the Duffer brothers, were thrilled by the idea, and they said, yeah, he's in the 4th one, but we're not going to tell you, we're not saying yet what role he's playing, but he's definitely in the 4th. Guys, come on. It's Vecna. All right. Robert Englund is playing Vecna. You don't get one of the most iconic single role horror roles and its actor into your movie unless you're going to give him just a kick-ass job, for lack of a better term. You're not going to have Robert Englund making up a cameo, right? Like he runs the comic book store, and like we see him on screen for like 5 minutes and he says something mysterious and then nothing else, right? It's Robert Englund. You know he's playing the bad guy in this. So again, excited, thrilled. I want to see how this ride that the kids have been on ends. It really is kind of a live action Dungeons and Dragons cartoon in its way, except rather than the kids going into a D&D world, D&D horrors, well, Lovecraftian horrors, have seeped into the real world. If I was going to pick something out of the trailer that I didn't like, it is a thing, and I've complained about this. I'm going to take away the image here, although it is Tress cool. Movies, TV shows, streaming shows, whatever, in the build-up. Well, do this. Google blue and orange movie poster. And you'll see from like 1996 to present, the lion's share of movie posters are blue and orange. Flames and water, sunlight, and blue sky. Some variation on blue and orange. Okay. Luther Pendragon asks, is Vecna going to wear the hat? That would be awesome. The hat of Vecna. The hand, eye, and hat of Vecna. But I was talking about Blue and Orange. Well, just like Blue and Orange, again, TV movie production companies have this thing where they take a vintage pop song and they play it one note at a time, the very high notes on piano, and do little dramatic beats in the trailer in the background. Now, no, we're talking about Freddy Krueger's hat, not the hat of Vecna. But the hand and eye coordination of Vecna. But anyway, they do that in this trailer. They deconstruct Separate Ways World Apart by Journey. And I kind of get it. Worlds apart. Our reality, the upside down. I mean, come on. Separate Ways Worlds Apart, you're going to slow it way the hell down and do the single tinking piano note treatment to that song of all songs. Separate Ways World Apart, yes, it's actually, the song's lyrics are very downbeat. It's about a guy basically saying, all right, you're breaking up with me. It hurts, a whole lot. But because I'm a simp, I'll still be here for you when you get back. But again, it is a rocking song. It is a stomping rock and roll song, okay? Using it in this fashion is so weird. It is so janky. There's a phenomenal synth soundtrack to Stranger Things. The fact that Stranger Things, in its first couple of seasons, sprinkled pop music in, and yes, kind of wove it a little bit into the story with Will singing Should I Stay or Should I Go because it's his favorite Clash song. His brother introduced him to the Clash. But it doesn't hit you over the head with a pop music references like, boy, that sure was a strange thing. I could say that they were Stranger Things. Well, let's listen to some Bangles and presses play on the boombox. That's not the way it does it. They're not afraid to have a little bit playing, but then just like stop in the middle of it, just like you only hear a little bit of it. And I thought that was very good. This is for me, the music is a little too on the nose. I wish they'd done something else. I wish they'd used that iconic, almost distorted, but not quite synth intro that they created for the first season, particularly if this is going to be the last season of Stranger Things, which I don't know if it is, but I'm kind of feeling like it is. But yeah, I was not taken with the let's take Separate Ways Worlds Apart, deconstruct it, and do the plinky piano thing. Kyle and I, my co-host, he's out the next couple of weeks, but Kyle and I joked about the how to make a modern movie trailer, and you take a pop song and completely deconstruct it, formerly like up poppy tune, and then you completely slow it down and you play it in a minor key. And they almost hit all the notes, except they didn't have some breathy, unknown female pop diva slowly dragging out the lyrics. Luther, I'm going to get right back to your question in just a second, but that's a good one, and I'll come back to you there. Yeah, I mean that was the only point that they missed, but otherwise, yeah, could have done without that. Really, really vastly prefer that the music take a back seat and not be like you know, I don't know, just something that's pushed out in front, like, hey, isn't this nostalgic? You remember these parts about the 1980s. This is a thing that you liked in the 1980s. If I could steal a little bit of Ryan George there for just a second. So that was the only part about this final trailer that I didn't like. I'm pumped, and it drops the weekend after, guess what? The Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. You're coming to that, right? You're going to be there. You're going to be at the Guac. Oh, you don't know what the Guac is? Well, let me tell you what the Guac is. April of last year. Cast your minds back to April of last year. April of last year, I said that if this YouTube channel right here, this, you're watching it on, right here, that you are watching this live stream on, got 1,000 or more subs. Now, initially I said, I'll do a live stream where I play D&D with some folks. Well, guess what? That's happening later tonight. I started doing that. And then I was like, well, we'll have a games day, like 3 games. Y'all didn't seem to want to bite on that. All right. Let's see what you greedy, grabbing sons of guns are all about. So I said, if I get 1,000 subs, we'll have an online gaming convention, the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, the Guac. Well, a couple of weeks ago, we crossed over 1,000. You guys made it happen because you want an old school gaming con where you can come and you can play classic games in a virtual con space, and we're doing it. It's going to happen. So the weekend of May the 20th might even start back on Thursday, like the 19th. We're going to do that. We're going to make that happen. That is going to happen. That is going to happen. So, and I have a question here. This actually came from Discord. This is Yang Yan Zhao. He's asking me, out of curiosity, how will the Guac work in terms of game scheduling and signing up for games? I'm glad you asked that. Because, oh, look, up here on the right, I'm about to pull over into the I'm going to tell you store. Everybody out, make sure you got your wallets. I'm not paying for you. What you're going to do is you're going to check out the Guac 2022 group. Optimistically named the 2022 group. I don't know if there'll be a second Guac, a second helping of Guac. But you're going to go there. And you know what? Oh, I got to take a minute here while I do this, while I pull this thing up. I apologize. Last night, there were people on Facebook talking, leaving me messages, because Facebook doesn't let its comments trickle over here into the stream. I missed it. Thank you very much, Zucker. So now I'm going to head over to Facebook, and I'm going to make sure that I got y'all's comments in effect. But what you can do, is you can come right over here to that band webpage, not band like BANNED. You just follow that link. And I'll put this up in the Facebook comments too. So I don't want people to miss it. You can follow that link. And there you will be able to sign up and schedule your games and interact with your players. Now, on my end of things, I've got to get some stuff squared away, because I got to set up the Discord. I've got to figure out exact times. But I think what we're going to do is, we're just going to kind of follow the standard 3 or 4 hour cycle. But listen, if you got some epic game that you think is going to last 6 hours and you got people that are going to want to play in it for that long, schedule it like you want to. Don't feel, I guess what I'm saying is I don't have time blocks set up yet. But Yang, I hope that answers your question. So go over to Band and check it out. That's just a little community over there. And you can absolutely look into that. So that was a nice little dovetail. I've decided to be nice to you on that day, Guac. Thanks, Luther. I appreciate it. So definitely you want to check it out. It rhymes with Zucker. It certainly does. So there was a question in the chat, because we're not just here to talk about Stranger Things and our great online gaming convention. It says season 5 is never the last of a popular show. It is the last good season. Yeah, and that's probably why they'll wrap it up. And I mean, my daughter pointed out tonight, we're geeking out about the trailer today. She was like, they're almost my age now. My daughter's 19. She was saying, they're almost my age now, Dad. And that's very true. All right, so Luther Pendragon asks, have I ever discussed how liches are made, how they start? Better question, has anyone, even D&D itself, ever done it? A wizard process, but ever described? To the best of my knowledge, no. Now, way back when I first started noodling around on the internet, Dungeons and Dragons wise, I came up with a critter, my own monster creation called the Failed Lich, which someone emailed me and said, a failed Lich is a corpse. So I guess I can't argue too much with that. But the idea was that they had messed up the spell components or something, and they had achieved a limited form of immortality, sort of a living death, but they were decaying and like fast, and would do anything to arrest that or attempt it again. And I kind of danced around a little bit. Len Lakofka's blueprint. Well, I tell you what, if Len Lakofka wrote an article about it in Dragon, then I would say there's your answer. I mean, Len, pretty authoritative on the D&D matters he was. So I would definitely give that a look. As for myself, I mean, that's what I would use as my starting point. That's what I would recommend you use as your starting point. Len wrote Deathmaster as well, so no surprise. Very cool. So yeah, I mean, if you've got Len Lakofka's information in your back pocket there, I think you've got all you need to know the process. Now I saw some interesting stuff once. I was looking, like I said, the whole thing with the character Jane, and oh boy, can't wait to tell you guys one of these nights what went on in Monday's game. But this notional idea of what happens if a demon has its alignment changed. And I've been over it already. We're not going down that road again. But around that same time, I was like, well, what about some of the other arch evil things in D&D? And it seems that at least some of the writers were, now I know Forgotten Realms originally started as the work of Ed Greenwood, but I don't know if like with Greyhawk, other writers came in and contributed stuff to it. But Dragon 26 or best of volume. I even talked about the best of, and I had completely forgotten that. Thank you, Jack and Yes Mar. And isn't it theoretical that a just created Lich would be indistinguishable from a live wizard? Maybe. I mean, I would think they'd probably be pretty pallid. They'd be like tissue lividity would kick in almost immediately. They could do the whole cover myself in tons of makeup. But to get back to my nonsense about Forgotten Realms, which I don't play, so I don't really know how far down the rabbit hole I would go. But apparently, in a couple, maybe 3 cases in Forgotten Realms, there were good liches. There were people who underwent the process of becoming a lich, but they were good and they did it to maintain the safety of wherever they were. I don't think that works. I mean, you have to do some pretty horrible stuff and make some pretty egregious agreements to become a lich. You can't just say, well, I'm a lawful good 10th level magic user and 15th level cleric, and therefore I am going to make the black elixir, which to get its components, I have to do horrible, vile things, build a crypt to lay in, and then sacrifice all of the people in the crypt to make these binding pacts to give me the power to become a lich. I don't think that happens. I think if you're anything except neutral evil, well, chaotic evil and lawful evil, demons and devils would be very reluctant to let you live forever. They want your soul in the abyss or in hell. But once you start getting to chaotic neutral, true neutral, chaotic good, neutral good, lawful neutral, lawful good, once you start talking about that part of the wheel, I don't think there's any deities or beings that are going to be entirely okay with you saying, I want to live forever, and I'm willing to do anything, including enter a state of undeath, which ties my soul to the negative energy plane. But I'm still good. I'm still lawful good. So I'm not, yeah, that ain't, I ain't. I ain't about that. I mean, it's an interesting thought experiment. It's an interesting thought experiment. And then even like the thing that I did with Jane Renoreme, the Melarith type 5 demon who became a lawful good human. I don't think that doorway would be available to a Lich, because again, they've bound themselves to primordially evil powers. They're not gonna just step up and say, oh, okay, well, I've changed my mind. I know I was, neutral evil, but I'm going to go true neutral and maybe, work this Lich angle for some good. Oh, you're not buying. Okay. All right. You're sending demons to eat my corpse. So yeah, I ain't that ain't working. It sounds pretty strong, Wig. I don't know Dark Sun, but I'm going to take your word for it. So I would go to the Lenlikofka that's in Dragon 26 or Best of 2. You know what? Let me see. Let's do something here. Look on the old Internet Archive. All right. Let's pop this out. And I've had the Dragon Magazine Archive now for 20 some years. 23 years now, whenever it came out. I think it was 99. May have even been before. Let's see. Let me share this real quick. Let me go into OBS. I had some luck with it before. Maybe it'll happen again. Let's see. Window capture. Okay. There we go. All right. So let's bring this over here. And you guys, you'll have to you might want to zoom in a little bit here. You might want to zoom in just a little bit. So let's see. Where might we find this? Oops. That's not at all what I wanted. That was the wrong button. Push the button, Frank. I'm going to do it again. Okay, so let's see. How to make a Lich. So that's on page 36. So let's head over to page 38 probably. And see what we got. You're embarrassing me in front of the audience, AD&D Archive. Please hurry up. Please hurry up. Do I need to refresh this? Apparently I do. Okay, there we go. Finally. How to make a Lich. Let's look at how Len said. Blueprint for a Lich. Vampire's blood, belladonna, and a virgin's heart well simmered. Well, I guess that leaves out the neutral or lawful or chaotic good Lich. Liches are high-level clerics or magic users who have become very special undead. Before becoming a Lich, the cleric or magic user must have at least been 14th level in life, although 18th level is most common. Once a Lich is created, it might drop in level, but below 10th level, one cannot exist. Preparation for Lichdom occurs when the figure is still alive and must be completed before his first death. If he dies somewhere along the line and is resurrected, then he must start all over again. The Lich needs these spells: Magic Jar, Trap the Soul, and Enchant an Item, plus a special potion and something to jar into. The item into which the Lich will jar is prepared by having Enchant an Item cast upon it. The item cannot be of the common variety, but must be a high-quality, solid, and at least 2,000 gold pieces in value. The item must make a saving throw as if it were the person casting the spell. A cleric would have to have the spell Enchant an Item in Magic Jar thrown for him, and it is the contracted magic user's level that will be used for the saving throw. The item can contain prior magics, but wooden items are not acceptable. No going into your favorite fishing pole, then, I guess. If the item accepts the Enchant an Item spell, this requires an 18 plus hours. Then Trap the Soul is cast on the item. Trap the Soul has a chance to work equal to 50% plus 6% per level of the magic user or cleric over 11th level. A roll of double nuts is always a failure. If the item is then soul receptive, the prepared candidate for Lichdom will cast Magic Jar on it and enter the item. As soon as he enters the jar, he will lose a level once and the corresponding hit points. The hit points in his soul are now stored in the jar. He must then return to his own body and must rest for 2 to 7 days. The ordeal is so demanding on it that his top 3 levels of spells are erased and will not come back until the rest period is up. The next time the character dies, regardless of circumstances, he will go into the jar, no matter how far away and no matter what the obstacles, including cubes of force, prismatic spheres, lead boxes, etc. To get out again, the magic user cleric must have his or another's recently dead body within 90 feet of the jar. The body can be that of any recently killed creature, from a mouse to a Kirin. The corpse must fail its saving throw versus magic to be possessed. The saving throw is that of a 1/2 hit die figure for a normal man, animal, small monster, etc., regardless of alignment. If the figure had 3 or fewer hit dice in life. If it has 4 or more, it gains one of the following saving throws according to alignment: lawful, chaotic, or neutral good, normal saving throws. Lawful neutral, chaotic neutral, pure neutral, normal saving throw as in life, -3. Any of the evils are -5. Unless it's chaotic, then it's -6. The corpse can be dead no longer than 30 days. If it makes its saving throw, it will never receive the Lich. The magic user / cleric's own corpse can be dead any length of time and is at -10 to receive him. He may attempt to enter his own corpse once each week until he succeeds. If the Lich enters another corpse, he will have the limited abilities of the corpse when it comes to physical strength. Intelligence and wisdom will be his own, regardless of what the corpse had. It can have no more than 4 hit dice and will behave as a wight, but has no energy draining ability. If the corpse could cast spells in life, then the possessed corpse may cast up to, but not beyond, the 4th level of ability. The whitish body will be telepathic if the corpse could speak in life. In the whitish body, the Lich will seek his own body and transport it to the location of the jar. Destruction of his own body is possible only via the spell Disintegrate, and the body gets a normal saving throw versus the spell. Dismemberment or burning the body will not totally destroy it, as the pieces of the corpse will radiate an unlimited Locate Object spell. Naturally, it may be difficult for the Lich to obtain these pieces / ashes, but that is another story. If and when the whitish body finds the remains of the Lich's original body, it will eat them, and after 1 week will metamorphosis into a humanoid body similar to that of the Lich's original body. Once the Lich is back in its own body, he will have the spells he had in life and never has to read / pray for them again. In fact, he cannot except once to fill up his spell levels. As a Lich, he can never gain levels, use scrollers, use magic items that require the touch of a living being. So that is, yeah. That's most of it, but yeah, we're over on page 36 of Dragon Magazine number 26. Liches get stitches. So I hope that answers the question / discussion about what to do about becoming a Lich, because again, you know, this is Landla Kafka. And Gary never spoke on it, but if you're looking for an authoritative source, Len is pretty much it. I mean, preparing the body of the living figure. I guess that's if you're planning on, if you're planning on forcing yourself into the body of a person. 2 pinches of pure arsenic, a pinch of belladonna, a measure of fresh phase spider venom under 30 days old, a measure of fresh wyvern venom under 60 days old, the blood of a dead humanoid infant killed by a phase spider. You want to get back to me on the whole, well, liches can be good thing there, Forgotten Realms? The blood of a dead humanoid infant killed by a mixture of arsenic and belladonna. Good Lord. The heart of a virgin humanoid killed by wyvern venom. A quart of blood from a vampire or person infected. I'm going to get demonetized for this. The items are mixed in the order given in the light of a full moon. When he drinks the potion or all of it, the following will occur. Roll percentile dice. And you get no effect whatsoever other than all body hair falling out. Start over. 11 to 40 is coma for 2 to 7 days. The potion works. 41 to 70, feeble-minded until dispelled by dispel magic. Each attempt to remove the feeble mind has a 10% chance of killing him if it fails. The potion works. Paralyzed for 4 to 14 days. 30% chance that permanent loss of 1 to 6 dexterity points will result. It's not that bad. If you're just gunning to sit in your crypt and guard your treasure for eternity. But the potion works. Permanently deaf, dumb, or blind, only a full wish can regain the same. The potion works. 97 to double aught. Dead, start over if you can be resurrected. So there you go. Like I said, absolutely authoritative from the late, great Len Kafka. Thank you, Len. Jack Photon says, I have a 19th level magus that can never be gamed again, so might lichifying her as an NPC for vain pursuit of youthful beauty and wealth. While she's chaotic good, vanity is strong. She and the tomb would make a good fight. Huh. Interesting. If you think good liches are funny, pretty sure in 5e they still have to eat souls. The good ones take volunteers. That's my opinion of that. So, volunteers. Is that like volunteers in Warhammer 40K? These people volunteer to keep the Emperor alive as they had their souls destroyed, consumed, and then pooped out in the toilet that's built in the Golden Throne. Thank you. Now, on your left, you'll see the Adeptus Astartes. People will be like, the Empire's, they're the good guys in 40K. No, they're not. There are no good guys in 40K. There aren't. Don't kid yourself. Everything in 40K is bad. The Lich we just described, that's just like, they get laughed at by Chaos Lords. Okay, you're evil. I got it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, who knows Wizards of the Coast? There's no telling. There's no telling. So, I do want to take a minute here, though. We will be starting AD&D. The AD&D live stream will begin soon. If you're here for it, it's going to happen. Don't you worry about it. We will be playing some AD&D. So y'all get your knives and forks out. Get ready to play some AD&D here. But I want to take a minute. I do want to take a minute before I forget. This came up. I first of all, I can now take subscriptions on YouTube. If you guys want to do that, if you want to subscribe to me on YouTube, I'm going to be turning that on soon as I figure out the ins and outs. I think that's pretty cool. Thank you, YouTube. Another thing, speaking of subscriptions, someone, it was Rob Cocculus, actually. Thank you, Rob. Donated $5 on Subscribestar. They tipped me $5 on Subscribestar. I did not realize there's two things about Subscribestar that I was not aware of. What? I don't get notifications from Subscribestar for some reason. I got one notification when the first person joined up on Subscribestar. So if you joined and you're like, oh, hey, Imperial Ramblings, but if you joined and you're like, yeah, I'm on your Subscribestar now, it's awesome, and I haven't said welcome and I haven't said thank you, I apologize. This is me doing that now. Thank you and welcome as a supporter. The other thing, and just in general, but the other thing that Subscribestar does is Subscribestar will sit on your donations. It will not automatically renew your subscriptions on Subscribestar. You have to go in and manually put in your thing until I get 5 subscribers on Subscribestar. Then it becomes automatic. Tell me that's not a pain in the hinder. I apologize. I didn't know it did that. Patreon doesn't. I don't think YouTube does. So yeah, kind of a pain in the old, sit upon. So with all that preamble said, I looked over today when I did get a notification about getting a tip from someone, just a one-time donation, and that's fine, on Subscribestar, and it was very nice. But I did notice that there are like 3 other people over on Subscribestar than the one person that I had listed. So I've added them to the roll, which I'm about to read. The thank you. I wasn't ignoring you guys, I promise. But I'm going to read Jack Photon and Damien's comments real quick. The sucky thing about having old characters, they can never be gamed again for lack of an original DM. Stylings and Melu, you're grooved too, though they do make good NPCs for new players. I think it can work depending on the group you're bringing them to. But yeah, it can be kind of awkward. It's like, yeah, I know he's a chaotic good paladin, but it just worked in our other group. You don't allow elves to be multi-class paladin magic users and chaotic good. And okay, you can run into that problem. And Damien says, closest thing to good liches in D&D are the Balorn, which are elves who are chosen by their deities to be transformed into a guardian spirit for an elf city or sacred grove, etc. Well, that's a DM fiat kind of thing. That's not a player saying, I want to do this. Which is to say, I agree with you, Damien. It's, I think that's about it. So let us take a moment to give thanks, because the list is now longer. So thank you, Digital Discord, Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damien, James F. Keck, William Smith, The Dungeon Minister, Manny Wall, Mark Corey, Kevin Wood, Todd Sharp, Carnivore Farmer, Rob Cocculus, Jeremy Rule, and Bo Ganora. Thank you all so very, very much for supporting the show. Guys, everybody who watches the videos supports the show. All right? Never think that I don't appreciate every single one of you. But these folks down here, I just felt like I had to think. I don't have all your names. And honestly, with 1,000 subs, I'd have to do a live stream, just me reading your names. So we thank these guys. We thank them a lot. Incredulous look of a new DM as to how your character could have given this or that by giving a little. Yeah, magic items per level, spells. Yeah, a DM in a new campaign with an old character you're bringing in might just be like, yeah, no, not in my. You're not dual wielding two-handed +5 Holy Avenger Vorpal swords. That's not happening. But my other DM let me do it. Our campaign was awesome. It lasted for 10 years. Shut up and get out. So anyway, that is about where I am right now. Very excited about Stranger Things. Very excited about the guac, and I'm also pretty excited about the next thing we got coming up this evening, which is some good old-fashioned first edition Advanced Dungeons and Dragons set in the world of Greyhawk. I see that our players are filing in to the green room. Dungeon Minister, greetings. Good to see you. Sorry, just had to crack my back there a little bit, guys. I don't know if you heard that pistol shot. But yeah, why don't we go ahead and jump over and see what's going on in the world of Greyhawk while I grab my headphones. Now, if you were here last week and you saw the Dwarven Forge set out on the table and you're like, hey, do we get to see that again tonight? Maybe, maybe not. That's up to the players and what they wish to do. All right, let's bring some folks into the chat. And good evening to you all. Good evening. Good evening. How is everyone?
Alive.
Doing good.
Could be worse.
Alive is good. Alive.
I'm writing a 25-page paper in 5 days.
Oh, that's 5 pages a day. You got 16 waking hours? That's less than 1 page every 4 hours. As far as I'm concerned, you've got this made.
Just make it 24 font and wingdings.
Yeah.
Triple space it, research nothing, the usual.
The infamous, the title page counts as a page, therefore, All right, guys. So last week we sure did have some fun with you guys. Quite frankly, just kind of kiting that last encounter in the dungeon there before you left the orcs behind. I mean, I think everybody was still massive amounts of hit points and resources to hand. Yes.
Sure, we're fine. Full hit points, ready to go.
Yeah.
DM.
But in spite of this, you have elected to return to the city of Greyhawk, and so departing the great marshes around Castle Greyhawk with your retinue. I believe it was 117 gold worth of electrum, so 234 electrum.
I have it written down here.
Alrighty.
And then our gems and the whole bucket of sadness.
Bucket of sadness, the bucket of awesome, you mean? All those gems? That's great stuff, man. That's a lot of loot, isn't it?
How many of us can level, do you think? 1, 2, 2?
7 GP and 245 electrum, plus the 20 gems.
Okay. So let's see. I sent you guys a private message about the gems. That's over in
Oh,
Discord.
and 40 more Electrum from the
Okay.
last encounter.
So 285 plus 7 gold.
Yes.
So let's just 285.
And then 10 gems. 20 gems. 20 gems.
20 gems.
For some reason,
That's
I was
a-
thinking we only got 6. I know.
That
Well,
is 100.
6. Oh, sorry.
No, that's okay. That's 149 gold and 10 silver, by the way, for those of you playing along at home. 149 gold, 10 silver. So to the city of Greyhawk you go, and afternoon of the first day, as you're riding along, let me just...
Consult the notes you wrote up. Because lesson
All
of
right,
the DM is pre-roll your random encounters.
you're going along, and let's see, Average.
Uh-huh.
Something heavy lands on you as you're going along, leaving the marshes. It is long, dark green and yellow, and let's see, another one.
It's a snick.
It is a snick. Another one lands on... No, there's two of them. I gotta...
Danger noodle! Danger noodle!
Veloric, one lands on you. These are large constrictor type snakes, and they are getting surprise on you. Surprise!
Lovely.
Are we at full hit points or...
We should be.
Yes, it was my assumption, which is good.
Well, I had one previously, so I'd be dead.
So Veloric, the thing is trying to constrict and bite you. Average, you are constricted and bitten, so you will take but a mere point from its bite, and
Okay.
its coils. I hate that D4. This one is equally bad. You take 3 points of constriction and 1 point from a bite, as the thing is now wrapping around you and squeezing you. And you're not sure, but you think you hear one of them singing quietly, "Trust in me. Just trust in me." Oh, I'm going to get copyright struck by Disney. Okay, so they will spend their next surprise segment. The surprise was that bad. Well, Veloric, again, this one first attempts to bite you and misses and tries to wrap its coils around you. What is Veloric's armor class without shield, please?
3.
3? Let's see. Hey, who's listening to the stream? Turn that off.
That was me. Sorry.
That's okay.
In the count, trying to see what we got here.
I am just teasing you. Let's see. I did not have my Dungeon Master's Guide open.
No.
I know. Terrible of me. So yeah, it does manage to slip its coils around you. It doesn't bite you, but it does constrict you for 7 points. Yeah. So, they are done with their segments of surprise. What does the party wish to do about these future belts and purse accessories?
I call dibs on Sir Average's gloves.
You just let him keep going.
Question for the DM.
Yes, sir.
Because Sir Average has superhuman strength with these gloves, is there any chance I can wring this snake's neck?
There is a
Just
chance
start
that
crushing it back.
there is a chance that you can remove the snake from you. As to
Oh, I wanna
damaging
crush
it,
its head.
you
I
want
wanna
to
beat
crush
its head.
it.
I'm gonna beat
You
his
really
ass.
want me to? You really want me to get the grapple table out? No, I mean it's wrapped around you, grabbing onto it. You'll do your strength bonus damage to it.
Mhm. Which is a +6.
Yeah. So you'll still need to roll to hit it, but it is effectively armor class 9 as it is wrapped around you right now and not really able to much defend itself. I mean, so basically your hands could like not find perches as it's, wrapping around you. But how about Veloric? What is Veloric doing?
I think he's going to do a reverse of Cure Light Wounds on the thing. Can he do that?
Well, you're I tell you what, real quick,
thematic, he would have to move his hands a little bit, but
he would have to move his hands a little bit. That's kind of what. Do you have the reverse of Cure Light Wounds memorized?
Well, I didn't know if you had to have it memorized or not. It doesn't.
You do.
You do.
Yeah. You do.
I don't do that.
Okay.
You have a knife?
No, got a short sword, but it's in the sheath. Wasn't expecting a snake to drop on me from out of nowhere. Fell out of space.
Nobody expects the herpetological inquisition. Our chief weapons are surprise, and coils. Our two weapons are surprise, coils, and snaky venom, and so on. So what is Veloric doing then?
I guess he'll try to break out of it. Can he use his strength to try to bust free?
What is Veloric's strength?
14.
You can certainly try and wiggle against it. How about Bejeebus?
I guess he'll try to slice into it with his longsword.
All right. What is Lynx doing?
I guess I get him a dagger out and trying to cut him free.
Oh, okay. What about Turgo?
Yeah, I'll use my short sword, and one's on average still. I'll try to cut that one off.
Worry about the cleric.
All right. Yeah, but there's a few guys on him. Well, I'll go over there then. And
okay.
Try to cut it off the cleric.
The men-at-arms are, of course, puissant, and they are readying their weapons to assist you guys as best they can. How about Jinan?
Jinan will slash and stab. I think the one on average, because there's too many people on Veloric so far.
That's fine. Let me just pop this open. Oh, that's where my notes are. Lovely. Okay. All right. Okay. Then we'll just start at the top of the rotation. James, roll initiative, please.
3.
Okay. The snakes are quick, and so the one that has Veloric wrapped up also manages to bite him, but it's just for a point of damage.
Okay.
How many more hit points does Veloric have?
Right now, he's got 7 left.
Okay. Well, it crushes you for 4 more.
Oh boy.
Yeah, the men-at-arms are leaping to Veloric's defense since Veloric is going blue in the face. It does not bite a second time. It does not find purchase, but it does. Oh, you got it for 2 more points damage, crushing on Average. I will roll for the men-at-arms. They are leaping to Veloric's defense. There are 7 of them. 7 men-at-arms?
5.
5.
Okay.
Wish we had 7.
There we go. Okay, so 2 solid blows from men-at-arms, and they are letting into the thing. And they cut it deeply. It's hissing and still squishing. Go ahead and do your thing with Bejeebus.
I got a 13.
That will hit.
If I'm at 8. Oh, there it is. 6 points.
Okay. The snake did not like that. So, let's see. Lynx, do your thing.
All right. That's not going to hit, though.
Okay. Turgo?
That's a miss as well.
Okay. Kyle, you wrap your I'm sorry, Average, you wrap your gauntlet assisted brawny thews around the snake and start to go Conan on it, and it's hissing and squeezing you back. You're having a squishing contest, so you inflict 6 points of damage.
Yep.
Jinan.
Yep.
If it wants to crush me, I'll hug it back.
Does a 15 hit?
Yes.
That is unfortunately just with my dagger, and I do a total of 4 points of damage.
Hey.
Okay, and you're going after the one on Veloric or the one on
Average.
Average? Average. Okay. So
I have
that's
one
6.
person helping. Thank you, Gian.
Yeah, you guys have inflicted a goodly amount of damage on it. So next round, then I think that that this is.
If I don't get a chance to try to break free, or what do I need to roll?
You're dude. It's
Okay.
and it's like a 20-foot long anaconda. It's not.
Okay.
Well, Corion, you want to roll initiative for the party? I'm guessing you guys are keeping this up, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
You don't want me rolling, though. I guess we roll
Die.
a 1.
All right.
Guess we fuddle around for a bit.
Well, it's initiative. It's an initiative tie, which is good. Unfortunately, the snakies get to go first.
I'm squeezing.
I understand you're squeezing.
Natural weapon.
Yeah, it's a natural weapon.
Yeah. So you do 6 more points of damage. It's starting to loosen up a little bit. You think maybe.
Dang, it's not dead. Okay.
Luckiest character in the party is Veloric. It's only inflicts 2 points of squeezy damage on you,
Oh, I'm not
and missed with its bite. And the one that's got Average wrapped up, it inflicts. Ooh, that's more than 6 points on Average.
Okay.
And it attempts to bite you again and misses. The men-at-arms still hacking away at the one on Veloric. Oh, that's a hit. Oh, almost. Rocked from a 20 back to an 8. Miss. Miss. And miss. Okay. So one of them hit it. And that looks like something from the Zalgo text generator. I really got to stop using that old 8-sided die. All right. So he slashes it for 4 points of damage. The rest of you, please do unto it.
But need assist for a 6 points of damage.
Okay.
Does a 12 hit for a second level fighter?
It's only armor class 9, I think he said.
Yeah, I mean, it's coiled up. It's not really,
I think.
Yeah.
Well,
for someone striking it from the outside and not stabbing you, I mean, you just have to reach up and grab it and squeeze. That's the armor class 9. But I think a 12 still hits because they have fairly low armor class. Let me just zip up real quick. I'm going to double check, but go ahead and roll the damage.
Yep.
All right, what do you got?
Well, one was a 20, so I knew that hit. That was 5 points. But
yes.
My broadsword, if the 12 hits, my broadsword hit it for 9 points of damage.
All right, so the 20 does hit. There's no question in that. The 12 does not, but the 5 points is sufficient to kill it.
Excellent.
You step in and slash it open, and it is no more. There is one still crushing Veloric.
Lynx hits it for 3.
Okay.
And I miss.
Okay. It is still thrashing around, but it has many grievous wounds in it. Next round, you guys gonna try and get this thing off of poor Veloric before he's has a life crushed out of him.
I'm gonna try and punch that snake right in the head.
That
I
you
think
you may.
It's earned Veloric at this point. Just let him go.
Just let it go.
Just think a lot.
Maybe the snake could be part of the party, like PC.
We can have the snake as the cleric.
If the snake casts spells, it's in. But no.
Turns out it's a Naga that just really needed some companionship. All right. Doom Sword, roll initiative. I know what the snake's going to do. I'm guessing you guys know what you're going to do.
Yep, with a 2.
Bye, guys.
Well,
That was
that's
better than me.
that is
It is one
sufficient.
better than that.
That is sufficient.
Okay.
I'll let you guys roll before the men at arms steal any thunder.
Bajiva's got a 14.
I got a 3.
That will not hit.
I hit on both my weapons, so that's a lot of damage.
Great. That's a lot of damage.
It is. It's 14 points.
Okay, that with the previous damage done to it, you hew it in half and its coils kind of drop off of Veloric. And Veloric, you can breathe again now. You know if it was possible to dislocate your sternum, and yet here you are. That shouldn't be floating around like that.
He's going to go over and crawl over, I guess, and check on the dwarf and make sure he's okay.
Heal yourself, heal me, we'll call it good.
Jeanin will help pick up Veloric and put him on the back of the cart. Just stay there.
Just don't stub your toe, whatever you do.
Let's see. Sir Alvarez, you get 7 back. I get 4.
Thank you, sir.
Uh-huh.
You know that sensation you get when you stand up too quick and like things just kind of fade to a pinpoint because blood rushing your head. That's what Veloric gets like if he like lifts his hand up. that's how hurting Veloric is right now.
Yeah.
Flex tape holds it together. Yes, flex tape the dear Veloric back together. Okay, so you guys have defeated the snakes. You spend the rest of a frosty. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm going to skin the snakes and use their heads as sock puppets.
That's fine. You've got a couple of foul-smelling constrictor snake mittens, for lack of a better term. So you go.
He's a leather worker. Can he make a belt or something out of it?
Yeah, you can. You can absolutely do stuff with that snake skin if you want.
Yeah, he'll take the skins and prepare them, and then I guess chop up the meat for dinner for later.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you got these snakes. These were large constrictor types. Let's see. Let's open the old.
We earned this meal, damn it.
You did. And incidentally, folks, I've eaten snake. No, it does not taste like chicken.
I'll never forget the time one of my parties decided to go hunting in a D&D world, so they decided to hunt a bear, and the bear led to a TPK.
Yeah. I've seen parties go down to a mated pair of badgers that they decided to corner in their nest because they'll have loot. Badgers will hoard treasure. What got into the players' heads and why they thought this, I don't know. This was in the caves of chaos, and 5 dead characters. Like, I don't mean unconscious, like I could bend the rules. 5 dead characters. And to be quite honest, that's not a place. Neophyte DMs, that is not a place where you need to bend the rules. That's foolishness. That's foolishness, and it needs to be rewarded appropriately.
But those badgers now have loot, so we should go get them.
No. You have
They
the
have a whole
players
party there.
play the badges.
Five
So they can do something.
5 full suits of armor, some spell components, a small spell book. Sure, you guys need to. You guys
Spellbook,
need to
that's
head,
a lot.
Hey,
you guys need to head down to the Pomarge and find find the caves of chaos.
Badger King loves these parts.
Yeah, I would have taken the Caves of Chaos over this.
The badger's greatest treasure is its fighting spirit. Absolutely. In a certain country located to the southwest of Russia, there has been a tendency amongst the folks there who are having a less than awesome time to spray paint Wolverines on the side of vehicles, which I think is just really kind of awesome. All right, so let's see. Snakes, giants. These are giant constrictors. Oh, were you guys doing large damage or medium damage? Because these are large creatures.
Oh,
it would have been
We're only doing medium. I mean, small. Small and medium.
So yeah, you basically you get a good like 75 pounds of snake meat out of these things.
Hey, maybe we could sell some of that at the inn when we pass through.
Could be. You pass through the rest of the evening, arriving at the inn late at night. They recognize you, so they open the gate and allow you in. I guess Veloric is going to go lie in a very hot bath, extremely still.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is pulled from the inside.
Using some of my a couple of my other spells while I'm there.
Okay.
I'm gonna take and put those snake heads on a spear and stick them outside, and two less to worry about.
To ward off other snakes, to warn them.
No, just as a point.
Let this be a lesson.
Indeed.
No. Tie them together and hang them from the wagon.
A warning to Yanti everywhere. No, we mount him as headlights. That's it.
There we go.
Just hollow them out, shove them over a couple of bullseye lanterns.
I genuinely like that idea.
I'm buying the lanterns when we get to Greyhawk.
We're doing that. We're doing that.
Okay, so you spend the night rather in the inn. Everyone who needs it regains a hit point. The inn is warm, dry, and comfortable, which the longhouse aside is more than you can say for most of your other surroundings recently. So again, you gain it. Are you going to stick with a plan of selling snake meat to the innkeep?
I say let's just eat it.
Do we want to sell it all or just some of it?
Let's just trade it. Hey, we're not getting charged for.
Oh yeah, that'll work. We'll just trade them the meat for meals and heads and whatever else we need.
Does she have oil for sale?
She does not.
Son of a...
She's
not
diversified.
To you.
That's fair. But I brought 400 copper pieces.
And you can take them right on down the road with you. So you've got you've got your standard fee for camping out here at the inn. She will, however, trade you all your night's stay for 10 pounds of snake meat. She doesn't know how well it keeps. She doesn't really know how to prepare it other than frying it or grilling it. But she thinks it might be interesting for some traders that are supposed to be arriving from Verbabank tomorrow.
Okay.
Pickle it.
So we'll have 65 pounds of rotting snake meat by the time we get to.
Yeah, I was gonna just give it to her.
Hell, we can just eat it, frankly.
Yeah, we'll eat some of it too.
There's 11 of us if you include the hirelings?
Yeah, I mean, a luncheon and dinner, that's 22 pounds of it gone. She bought, how much did I say she bought? 10 pounds?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's a little less than half of it. And it is still cold. It is still very, very cold. So it's not like, it's going to turn immediately.
I mean, you give me half a day, some wicker rods and a fire, and we'll have it last for a year.
Do we want to take the time?
No.
Next morning arrives. Men-at-arms are refreshed and ready, and by a barrel and salt the meat. Damien, the audience member, says there.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone has any cooking tips for them and you want to super chat them, I will pass them on to them.
Or super chat so other things land on the party.
Hey, he said it, not me, folks, but if that's what you want.
So that's why that dragon landed on the party.
Yeah.
I want here's $100 super chat. Teleport them into the Tomb of Horrors, Bill. Done. I wouldn't do that.
I'm so familiar with that module, I couldn't not metagame it.
It is a tough one, but so right up to the point where I say that the sphere of annihilation in the great green devil face grows legs and starts to follow you. It's the next morning. The men-at-arms are ready to go when you are. The innkeep is curious if she'll see you back this way again, or if you've had your fill of Castle Greyhawk and giant snakes around it.
We'll be back.
Very well. Safe travels to you all. Honestly, when it comes to returning customers, you're my best one so far. I mean, the caravans are nice, but with a few notable exceptions, you're all very pleasant to see. There was that half orc. Oh, such an off-putting fellow.
Poor Fang.
All right.
He died so quick.
Your journey back to Greyhawk, fortunately, it's my speech sometimes, sundowners, is uneventful. You arrive at the city late in the evening, so you have to go through the evening sally. And of course, there is a fee, an entry fee into the town. Basically, it's a levy. You all have to pay it. I don't remember what I'm sorry, were they what?
Said, did they take snake meat?
They do not, actually. Your offer of snake meat is regarded with an eyebrow that's arched so high it could be a toupee. No, my lord, don't believe I'll accept any serpent's meat. Just 10 silver apiece for the lot of you.
How about goblin teeth, sonny?
10 silver piece for all of us?
Yeah.
10 silver apiece each.
Thank you. That makes more sense.
Indeed.
Pay up.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And for the hirelings too? Yeah, damn.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes it.
These gates don't oil themselves, sir.
You take some snake meat. It's good lubrication.
I'll keep that in mind for the future, sir.
Because they're so high.
Yeah, it's right through the gate. You hear an unseen servant that's been bound there. Actually, the gates do oil themselves. A little can lift up off the stuff. All right, you have returned to the city of Greyhawk. It is late in the evening, but in a bustling city like this, that means little. Well, little other than old Mr. Dungeon Master rolling the magic orange D6 and seeing if you bump into something fun. But you don't. The nearest inn to you is actually on the main entry, and it is the Green Griffin. If you wish to go there and get a room, there's the Dancing Werebear is extremely popular. That's the one that seems to draw the most adventuring types. The Green Griffin is largely travelers and merchants and whatnot. the Green Dragon Inn is a storied place, and it's exclusive in the sense that it is
For
there are
elderly people.
legendary adventurers that generally take up most of the rooms in the Green Dragon Inn. Getting a room in the Green Dragon Inn is like, I'm dating myself here, but it's like the Hard Rock Cafe back in 1972 when it was just one in London. As opposed to like 3,000 in every city with a population over 1,500 these days. So where will it be, adventurers?
I think we just go to the Green Griffin Inn, or one of them closer to the gym district.
No, there are no inns or anything near the gym district.
Let's just take the nearest one.
Yeah,
that would be the Green Griffin.
Maybe tomorrow we can upgrade to a more better place. But we have to stay someplace tonight.
Well, the Green Griffin is not a bad place. It's not like Motel 6 or anything, Let's see. As you wend your way through the streets, like I said, there's a few people carousing. It's still fairly kind of chilly. There's still a chill in the air. Accompanied by a few bodyguards, obviously on some late evening errand. You see some women folk. No, they do not show up on the wandering harlot table. These are not those kind of women. The kind of the head of the pecking order, as it were, as they're going along, kind of regards you with and then they carry on about their business. She's sort of like, adventurers. But other than that, you find your way to the Green Griffin unless you wish to stop and conversate with the Goodwives. And there it is. Golden glow of a fireplace seeping out of the windows. Door bangs open as you're walking up. Heavy-set, mustachioed, bald fellow staggers out, laughing madly. That's where a beholder keeps its eyes. Oh, have you ever? Oh, that's where he keeps his eyes. He just kind of staggers on down the street, laughing at whatever he just heard the punchline to. The din from within draws you into the Green Griffin, and there is a raconteur with mandolin on his knee, telling ribald stories and bawds and such. Bill of fare is still being served at this late hour. There's tavern boys and tavern wenches, and just it's a crowded place, and there seem to be folk from every race here: dwarves, gnomes, halflings, elves, predominantly human. Anything you guys wish to do other than get a room here?
Drink and eat.
All right. You can do that. A plate of hot food is 25 copper. A plate of good hot food is a silver. Something to drink is like a small beer or a very kind of thin and watery ale is but 10 copper. You start getting into silver, higher counts of silver and electrum when you want something that's actually got a little bit of bite to it.
Speaking of bite, I'm going to ask the barmaid, who do I speak to about selling snake meat?
Before that happens, I'll just spend 14 gold on everything for everybody.
Oh,
Good Lord.
Thank you.
Okay, yeah.
14
Yeah,
silver. Sorry, 14 silver.
Oh, come on.
14 gold. You just bought most of the bar.
Man, what a
14.
cheapskate.
Yeah, 14 silver. Yeah, that'll get you some cheese on hot bread, some shredded ham, boiled potato, a few leeks on the side, and a mug of porter each.
Awesome.
The barmaid takes one look at you when you say, "Hey, baby, do you want to buy some snake meat?" and makes an obscene gesture at you, and she says, "I'm a classy lady. I never." And walks off.
Veloric turns to the group and says, "Class must be out."
Okay. You dine, you drink. The bod tells some very funny ribald stories, plays a few jaunty tunes. Some of the halflings get up and dance as they are wont, being cheered on by their gnomish cousins and such like, and etc. But by the end of the evening, the place just settles down. You've got a few folks trying to, hey, let's keep the party going, but it's got to be well into the wee hours at this point. There's no clock, and Greyhawk has no clock tower, but you begin to suspect that you are closer to the cock crowing than you are to the cattle going into the barn.
Time to get some rest.
Okay. You go to your room. It is comfortable, but snug, because again, there's 6 of you, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, there's 6 of you and 5 men at arms. So there's lots of rucks and ticks scattered on the floor. There's an actual bed. You guys want to fight over who gets that first.
I paid for the room.
We can fit 3 abreast. It'll be fine.
Yeah. And hell, if one of your fighting men doesn't mind the smell of your feet, he'll gladly sleep across the foot of the bed.
I thought that's where they'd stick me. I'm short enough.
Yeah, well, that's true. But you're broad.
Yeah.
They'd have to rest their feet up on you, Okay. A comfortable, if crowded, night later. Pounding on the door. It's just one of the servants of the inn calls out, "Porridge is on, as you like." And he clumps down to the next door. Same thing, just all 8 rooms on that second floor overlooking the inn. What will you do? What will you do?
Time for breakfast.
Time for breakfast and a little bit of experience. I think it's time to dole out a little bit of XP. So it was 35 orcs, a badger, and I believe a dozen giant rats, yes?
And some centipedes, and some fire beetles, and 2 constrictor snakes.
Yes.
That's right.
And
Go ahead.
I was going to say, how many of us actually need XP to level up? Because I think we're all just kind of capped at where we're at.
No,
I
do.
Bajib is
I
saying
do.
the XP.
Okay. So let's do the orcs first. The orcs, 35 of them. And as is my wont in these cases, unless it is something deeply, deeply pre-prepared, I go, and this, DMs, I recommend this, just give your monsters average hit points. It works out the same in the end. Whether you roll, a one-hit die monster, if you roll, that one has an 8, but that one has a 1 for their hit points, and there's a dozen of them, it's going to work out. So let's see. Orcs. A moment here whilst I use my ancient scrying device known as calc.exe. All right, so Orc.
Actually, I still need XP. Awesome, because it's 8,000 to level 3.
And it was 7 kobolds you guys, or no, it was 9 kobolds you guys fought.
I don't remember fighting kobolds, but I'll take their XP.
Yeah,
There
they came
was
up
that-
from the
yeah.
cave.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Aren't they like 7 apiece or something?
Yeah, it's not, it's like 5 XP plus 1 per hit point. And they have 1 to 4 hit points each. Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry.
All right, so and centipedes. Believe it or not, I think the centipedes do better on XP than the kobolds do.
Because they're poisonous.
Exactly. They're
Yeah,
venomous.
They can insta-kill you.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't eat them to find out if they are also poisonous, but... Centipede, giant. Yeah, they're 30 plus 1 per hit point. Let's see. And there were how many of those?
I have 5 centipedes.
Okay, so that's...
And those giant rats.
I think it was 9 giant rats.
I thought it was 12, but I could be wrong.
I think some booked it.
Yes, some of them did book it. So let's see.
I tried to grab
Again,
8 giant rats.
And 1 sad badger.
rat giant. Again, more XP value than your kobolds. All right. And Badger. Just the one, so we don't have to do the little chant thing from Newgrounds. Badger Giants. No, not Giant Badger. So that is that. So Monster XP. And your men-at-arms were with you during all of these fights, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for you guys. Not so fortunate for XP distribution. Five of them is a mere 53 experience points each, notwithstanding any 10% bonus you guys get. So that's 53 each. Now, the treasure is a different matter altogether, because we have to look at all of those gemstones. The total value of the gemstones is 6,320. So let's do treasure now. So that is, oh, I didn't add the snakes in. I'll give you guys XP for the snakes separately when I'm done with this. So 6,320, and we decided it was how much? 117 for
149
Yeah.
gold.
okay. So, all right. Now, what shares are you giving to your men-at-arms, or are you just paying them standard for the treasure that you got?
Geenan will be paying them bonuses from his cut.
Yeah, I'll pay
Okay.
them. I'll pay them after they get afterwards.
Sure. Okay, so this is just for the party. The treasure, the coins you took, and the gemstones is 1,078. See, listeners, that in AD&D, treasure is worth vastly more than monsters. You can kill dragons all day long. If they're outside of their lair, you're going to get a few thousand XP for them. You catch them in their lair, even if they're asleep and manage to take all their stuff and they don't wake up, you have made out like the proverbial, and to their point of view, literal bandit. So that is 1,078 XP for each of you for the coins you took from the dead orcs and for the gemstones you found in the bag underneath the centipede nest. Now, the snakes, giant constrictors, which were most assuredly.
And if we've hit our max before we level up, we just drop to 1 XP before we level up, right?
No, you'll go to 1 XP over. So
Okay.
if yeah, and then you'll stop.
Got it. Okay.
So let's see.
Yep. Because sadly, I'm like 2,200 XP over or more. 2287 over.
All right. So the snakes are actually worth a good little chunk of XP, if that helps anyone or matters to anyone. Sounds a little. Let's see. So that's 49.
Beating the dead snake.
Yes. Hey, what you do in your own time is your own business. Snake constrictor. 49. Yes, that is 76 XP each.
Not bad.
76 XP each for the snakes. The snakes by themselves were actually worth more than the orcs, the rats, the centipedes, the the kobolds, and so on and etc. that you faced.
Of course, they had more meat on them.
Well, there you go. There you go.
So what was the total split for gold pieces? Geenan will try to make sure he gets it into whatever this bank is that he's got some of his cash into.
Well, as far as the split for the gold pieces now, you have to sell the gemstones and then divide that amongst yourselves. Halsey says, never like the 1 XP overrule. Sounds too much like paying taxes. Well, as I said before, Halsey, there are times when the A in AD&D does stand for accounting. And unfortunately tonight, it stood for both advanced, adventure, and accounting. So,
So
all right.
Geenan could level up
Okay.
But he needs the cash.
Same.
He needs about 1,500 gold pieces.
Same here.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Shall we cash in those gems?
Yeah, let's sell that, and then we have 149 gold and 10 silver pieces. We can add to that.
Yeah.
And divide it up.
Okay. The silver pieces are good for buying basic goods and so on right now. It won't really make much of a difference. The gems, if you find a good gnomish or dwarven lapidary who will purchase them from you, who's got the highest charisma and wants to try and sell the gems?
I think
it's still
Janin
Janin.
does. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm the face man.
That's right.
You met that one, was it a gnome?
Yeah, it was a
Yeah.
gnome. We've given him business before. Maybe I'll get a returning customer bonus or something.
Oh,
Penalty.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. I can sucker them for more.
okay. So you're walking to a shop in the next morning.
Yeah. One that we've been to before. We've sold gems there before,
Sure, I remember the one.
including that time where we gave him some very, very good gems. So
Oh, he remembers you. He remembers you very well, or at least you think he will. You hope he will. You pass a few religious pilgrims along the way. One of them calls out to you and says, "Have you?" He is wearing a gray robe with red trim on it, and he approaches you and says, "Have you heard the ultimate truth of Wee Joss? Death is just the beginning. Don't be afraid, brother. Come with us to the temple. Hear her words of wisdom and be calmed."
I'm dead already.
Accepted his first step.
Veloric gives him a little weird look.
Will you not? Will you not enjoy? Will you not join us?
not today.
Maybe next week.
I shall light incense in your name, and kind of gives you a holy sign and moves on with the rest of his group who are chanting and walking up the street, presumably towards the Church of Weejoss.
I could see Sir Average worshipping Weejoss.
Average becomes a Gissidian. Excellent. Okay. So let's see. The fellow is glad to see you, and yes, come in out of the cold, my friends. Yes, come in. It is good to see you. Have your ventures and explorations been profitable, I take it?
Yes, they have.
Excellent. Please.
As I take a little bag of gems,
I see.
stuff that I know that you are very good at.
Fortified coffee for us all, Marco. Fellow brings out a tray of saucers of strong hot drink that smells very acrid and yet at the same time pleasing, and pours what you can only presume is some kind of cordial into it, and it turns a slightly lighter milky color. Please avail yourselves. I trust you will relish it as much as I do.
Yum.
It is
some
quite
after
good.
the sale.
Okay, he takes out his loop and may I?
Yes. Spreads them out on the table.
Yes. He takes out a wand, just a wooden stick, not wand of wonder. Just starts doing random shit to you. It just basically it's just like a forcep kind of thing. Moves him around, picks one up, and clucks his tongue. very, very oblique kind of non-committal. Ooh, holds up a black opal against the you're not sure if it's continual light or if he just has strong bullseye lantern strategically placed, but he's doing one of these. And he places his hands on the table and says, "My friend, this is a most fine collection. In some ways. In others, there are a few of these. I mean, truly," he holds up the eye agate and the blue quartz and says, "I would give these to gnomish children to play with."
That's fair. But what about that one? As Genie points at like one of the ones that he thinks is a better one.
All right.
Maybe it's a bigger, as far as Genie's concerned, it's bigger, so it's going to be better. So he just points at one of the bigger ones.
Okay. This one, he holds up a golden brown gem shot through with, it's kind of a clearish, milky glass shot through with golden brown stripes. This is a tiger eye. I would break this in half and give it to 2 gnomish children to play with. But this, he takes out a tweezer and picks up. Like, you almost missed this. This almost didn't come out of the bag. Little, the size of a spring pea. It's golden yellow. He says, "This topaz, I could pay no less than 700 gold for this topaz, but I can see that you are in a hurry, and you probably wish to part with a lot, yes?"
With all of them, yes.
Very well. Because we have a young, but I think favorable working relationship. What do you say to 5,300 gold, my friends? A princely sum for such a prize, yes?
Link's mouth is stuffed full of cake.
Yes.
Yeah, little triangular wedges of sesame and honey and pastry. It's quite delicious.
So you said 5,500 gold pieces.
5,300, yes, my friend.
Very well.
The echo in this room is awful sometimes. One tends to mishear. Trust me, I'm thinking of having hangings put up to lessen the chance of such a thing happening.
Very well. That will do.
Okay. He would you like a letter of transferal sent to the Bank of Greyhawk? I can have platinum coins brought up for you if you wish.
Just as an aside, the bank we dealt with the last time we sold a lot of gems was the Bank of Greyhawk?
Yes, there is one lending money storing institution in Greyhawk. They don't tolerate a bunch of competition.
Then we'll take a letter of transference and then we'll just go over there and split it into our own little bank accounts.
Okay, he signs it. He seals it with a very a signet ring, and the whole signet is almost the size of the back of his hand. It's very ornate, very cryptic, probably magical in some way. Seals it, asks if you'd like some more seed cake, if you'd like some more coffee, if you would like a glass of mulled wine, anything like that.
I'm done.
I think we're done here.
As Lynx puts more cake in his mouth.
Yeah, right. I think I'd just take the whole glass of mulled wine and shoot it.
Yeah. All right. He bows deeply and thanks you for your patronage, and you now have a small ransom to take to the Bank of Greyhawk.
And most of us need 1,500 to level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go to the bank and figure out what we're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So 908 gold per person. And then we got 1 gold and 10 SP left over.
Yeah. Are there those of us who haven't leveled yet? Like at all?
I'm level 2. I think
Okay.
everybody's level 2 or level 3.
Okay.
Turgo's about to level 4, right?
No, I'm level 2. I'm still waiting to go to 3.
Okay.
But Jeebus is still first level.
Oh,
Because he's multi-class.
Yeah. We can definitely get Bejeebus up and the Cleric up because that way those two will be useful.
As if they weren't already.
But they're not.
Well, I mean, more so. Well, Bejeebus isn't, but that's okay. He will
Bejeebus
be one
casts
day.
sword. He's perfect with
Indeed.
casting sword.
Indeed.
And,
And normal missile. He can cast normal missile
Yeah.
also.
yeah, light crossbow.
Mhm.
So I'm sorry. Is Bejeebus ready to level up?
As a fighter, he is, but not as a mage. He doesn't have no experience.
Raising him up as a fighter would be useful.
Yeah.
So Lynx, you and I are both ready to. Actually, is the rest of us, Sir Average, Janin, and Lynx, all fighters ready to level 3?
yeah, I'm ready to go to 3.
Yeah, and Turgo ready to go level 3. We can't pay for all of it.
And that's 2 weeks because it's level 3
I think so.
And
at 1500.
No. It is 1 week, but because you're going from second to third, yes, or first to second?
Second to third.
Second to third, it is 3,000. You guys,
Okay.
so grade wise, for those of you reading along at home, and we like to throw a little bit of education into our live streams about how AD&D works. I rate these players, and you should rate yours per page 89 on the Dungeon Master's Guide of how. Wait, is it 89 or is it 98? Let me see here.
does Turgo have D4 hit dice or D6? As a thief, I forget what AD&D is. It D4 or D6 hit dice?
It's D6.
Yeah, it's D6. I'm sorry, 86, page 86. The players, of course, get grades. They've been superlative players. I haven't looked over and noticed anyone futzing around on their phone or, what? Oh, is it my turn? That kind of thing. So you all get excellent grades, which means the minimum amount of time required to train, which is 1 week. Well, that's not the minimum amount of time. That's the minimum time given for excellent play for the number of sessions. So it is just a week, and you only have to train for Ascend Day. And there are plenty of guilds, plenty of sword masters, plenty of mages, plenty of churches, plenty of thieves guilds who will gladly train your characters up for the right amount of money.
So who should we train here? It sounds like Bejeebus cost about 1,500.
But Jeebus can pay for his own. He's still got plenty of gold.
That's good.
Veloric needs a little bit more, but he's got like 2,000 and something on him right now. So.
Yeah, I need 15. Lynx needs 15. Turgo needs 15, and Jenin needs 15.
Yeah. Well, if we take I added my cut in, I need 600 more, but
Yeah, I need 705.
Should I just add my cut in?
yeah. And then we'll see what is actually needed.
Yeah, what does it work out to be for each of us?
It was 908.
908.
Thanks.
Right.
The snake meat trade was not as profitable as we hoped.
No.
But there will be nice belts for each of us when I'm done with them.
Sell the belts. So I actually need 1,000 if I 1,100 if I
Okay.
to go to level 3.
So Bejeebus is all set. Veloric, you need how much? A
Like
1,000?
600.
I need about 500, I think.
Okay, 500. We need
Am I doing
1,000.
my math right?
600. Turgo?
705.
Yeah.
Okay, I apparently can't do math. So I have enough to level if I factor that in, and I have 1,000 gold to spare for someone.
Okay.
Because apparently I can't do accounting until I break out a calculator, and my stupid doesn't
Okay.
do mental math anymore.
Well, that's
Hey,
good.
don't. I take the tack of the great Albert Einstein, who said, "Gentlemen, do not worry about your difficulties with math. I assure you, mine are far greater."
So I'm trying to see what's going on here. We got Bejeebus going to level up. Good. Sir Average can
so-
level up. Good.
We should get Sir Average, if it's okay to loan your money, you should give some to Veloric.
I have
So
1,000
Veloric.
for whoever wants it.
Okay. That makes sense to get Veloric up.
Mhm.
So
That's 400 extra. That's not enough for me.
nor I, nor Turgo. So one of us would have to pay to get one of us up.
Can I ask something?
Hmm.
What are Genan's hit points?
Only 10 currently.
Okay, Turgos.
Mute.
Oh, you're muted.
I have 11.
You have 11 and Lynx's.
My max is 12,
Your max is 12.
and I have a D10 hit die.
Yeah.
Instead of me leveling, why don't we have either Turgo or Genan level?
Well, because that's your loot, and you can level up with your loot.
But I'm at 14 hit points. I'm fine. I can.
So you want to skip and give some of your loot to us so we can level.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could give some of mine to Geenan.
But then you can't level.
And then that way at least a couple of fighters
Yeah.
could level up. I mean, what am I going to get? I'm going to get some hit points, but I'm usually, I rolled pretty well with hit points.
Yeah.
And I'll get a slight increase in thief abilities. But
That increase in thief abilities is what I want.
Yeah.
right.
You're the specialist. We're the sex HP.
I already have 14. So
Well, you're also the one that's killing everything, so you should level. Veloric should level. Bejeebus should level.
Killing in the name of. Sorry.
I love rage. I really do. Okay. The 1,000's still there for whoever wants it.
Yeah. Well, that's Veloric needs 1,000. I need 600 of that, so that's 400 left.
Okay.
So Turgo, you need how much? And Geenan, you need how much?
705.
I need 600.
Well, one of you take the 400, and then I can give some of mine up, and then we'll make sure both of you guys level.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
So how much?
Yeah. Who owes me $400?
Yeah.
It sounds like Sir Average, Veloric, and Turgo will owe you cash, 600 and 400.
Right.
Lynx,
And
you're
then
giving me 600.
And then I'll give Turgo the 305 so he can level.
Okay.
So
400 and 305 is what I'll.
Yep.
How much did we get each from the split?
908.
Each? Or is that the total?
That's each.
that was
Whoa.
each
Well, then,
divided by 6.
Valoric doesn't need any more.
Oh, there we go. Hold on a second.
Sorry about that.
All right.
Okay, so I have another 600 I can get to somebody then.
Yeah. Well, that's the 600 I need.
Okay, so Gina knows me 600.
Yeah, I owed. Yeah.
That's fine. You're good
Right,
for
so
it.
how much gold is free so I can level?
Bejeebus has some extra he can give you.
Okay, cool.
Everybody should be able to level up then.
I don't think everyone can.
I
Well,
think
so if Sir Average then doesn't need to get 1,000 to Veloric, so Turgo can take 705. That
Right,
leaves
just from Sir Average, and then you can.
well,
do your
yeah. So I gave
305 back.
400 to Turgo, and I gave 600 to Gina.
So,
That-
so
that
Lynx,
wasn't
you
that
still
one.
give some cash to Turgo to level up.
Okay. Then we'll keep it the same, Turgo. Nothing
Yeah.
changed.
Okay. The only one not leveling is Lynx.
And how much does he need?
Minus my 305 that I loaned you. And it's 3,000 to level.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I need like 1,400, 1,397.
Okay. You're next.
Don't laugh. You're next.
Oh crap! I laughed.
Weren't you?
So I guess we're all going to go, all but Lynx will go off to train.
Okay.
You sure you don't want it, Lynx? Because I got my gloves. I'm at 14 hit points.
No, I'll get it next time.
All right.
Famous last words.
Yeah. This is.
Yeah. I feel like it's that moment in Saving Private Ryan.
I just hope I roll better for my hit points this time.
I've had the DM roll this whole time, so I'm going to ask him to.
Fair enough. Okay, so well, this doesn't look like anybody's willing to buy you guys levels tonight. So this will take a week.
Super chapter
and
level.
it is so it's Lynx is the only one who's not going off to train. The rest of you have you have your training montage sequences, some Survivor or something like that playing in the background as you do push-ups and furiously read magical tomes and pray and all that jazzmatazz. What is Lynx going to do in the interim?
Well, I had been considering getting hirelings, but I think that puts me farther behind on leveling at this point. So, hang out.
Okay, all
I
right.
don't know.
Nothing.
Carouse a bit.
Carouse you shall. Evening carousing or day carousing? You day drinking?
Probably not the first day, but the second day, yeah.
All right. Yeah, Hall & Oates, she's a maniac. Okay.
I'll never forget the wrestling instructor in my high school. If he was ever mad at you, so help you God, he would have you run with 20-pound bags of sand, and so you'd be running miles with 20-pound bags of sand just held to your chest like this.
All right. The first evening, you go out carousing. You bump into a group of tradesmen who've already kind of gotten in their cups a little bit. They're coming off of a job, doing some brickwork and such down by the river, and they just kind of come around you, and one of them claps his arm around you and offers you a jug of cold cider, and just because he likes your face.
That's all I need. I'm drinking that cold cider.
Hang around with him for a little while, and later he starts a fist fight with you just because he doesn't like your face. But it's not.
It's all
Not
good.
much of a prediction. Yeah, exactly. By the end of it all, you're all best of friends, and you're not sure, but you think you may be a stone mason now.
A stone cutter.
A stone cutter. Who controls the British crown?
We do.
All right. So yeah, you wake up the next morning. You know, your tongue feels like it's been pasted to the roof of your mouth. So clearly, the thing to do is to get yourself a cold breakfast cider and continue on. Nothing interesting going on in the inn during the day. You're enjoying a drink there in the inn or your lunch or whatever. There's a young noblewoman that comes in, and it is very clear she is LARPing. She's dressed like what a rich person thinks an adventurer would be dressed like. And her footman and her handmaiden are likewise ridiculously costumed. She's basically slumming it, pretending to be, you know, like before she sits down at a chair in one of the tables, someone produces from their equipment backpack a cushion. You know, first they dust off the seat and then they put a cushion down for her. She smiles, hoists the goblet that they do not have here. You know, just well met, fellow adventurer.
Time to get all my drinks free by flirting with her for the rest of the evening.
Really? Okay. What is your charisma?
Not high enough for that, but I don't know that. It's 12.
Well, you know, it's above average. It's above average. You don't have any penalties. So you know, prithee, what news from the ruins and dungeons? You're just like, you're cringing inside. You're like, God. She's like, if someone teleported her like into the cistern, she would like wilt and die. You just kind of get that.
Now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell her about the time I slew an iron golem with a door. Somebody's told that story long enough. I'll add some stuff to that.
Yeah, she seemed, you know, kind of. She's into that sort of story, so I see. How fascinating! Yes.
We slew 350 orcs down there. You muted, Sir Average.
Well, that is truly the slaying of orcs, a noble deed, most assuredly. I must away to my guild. Thank you, fellow warrior, for your exciting tales. And yeah, she buys the drinks. Yes. She buys the drinks. Her entire retinue. You catch sight of like a sedan chair and 4 footmen standing at it when she goes outside.
No,
So,
I was mouthing, "You're not far off," as far as like the number of orcs.
Probably.
Also, I see that James has been putting into the chat that maybe there is enough cash for Lynx to get leveled up.
Oh.
Yeah, I was kind of distracted here for a moment and didn't get my math done until just a moment ago. I do have like extra gold.
Do you have 1,400?
Yes, Bejeebus has enough to give you 1,400.
All right.
Woohoo!
okay. Well, you'll have to send a message to Lynx, the fighter there, because he's not, you know, he's
late for class again.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll
Exactly.
send a messenger to fetch him.
Okay. Well, then I don't have to roll any more random encounters, which is a shame because there's that table in the Dungeon Master's Guide. That's always a lot of fun to roll on.
I enjoyed meeting Lady EverQuest.
Somebody make a note of that. Lady EverQuest is now an NPC in the city of Greyhawk. Yeah, and I mean, you know, when they like opened the door for her, yeah, it's fucking noblewoman sedan chair and footmen. You know, she's about as much of an adventurer as you are, like a demi-lich. So yes, you are summoned by the master of arms, and he is keen to know why you have been shirking your duties. He's a fellow of medium build, stern-faced, loud-voiced. Every other word out of his mouth is a profanity, and it is directed at you and your family lineage and your intelligence and your strength and your ability to do anything. But at the end of a week, you have, you know, to quote the man, you have been born again hard. You are a killer. So let's go around the table. Who wants to roll for their XP, and who wants the old dungeon master to roll their XP?
I will roll my HP.
Roll it. Let's see
God
what you
have
got.
mercy upon my soul. 3 points. Crap.
All right. Well, hey, it's better than 1.
Yep.
You know, that's 3 points. That is, you know, could mean you could survive a hit from a 3 to 36 point attack.
Yep.
Think about that. I've seen weirder stuff. Okay. You roll. All right. Do it.
6.
All right. How about Aberrant?
Turgo's in the front ranks.
Yeah.
No.
But technically he is when he goes searches for a trap.
You are rolling for me, sir.
Right.
4, just slightly below average.
Okay.
All right. Lynx the Fightar.
Roll my D10.
5.
That works.
All right. James, am I rolling for Veloric and Bajibus, or do you wish to roll?
I rolled for Veloric, got 6.
Nice.
And for Bajibus, since he's multi-class, I'm assuming you roll the die for his level that he gained and then split it, have it, whatever.
That is correct.
Okay, I was just making sure. I thought that's the way it was. It's been a long time since I've done that. So he's got like he only gained 4.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's not awful. That's actually quite good.
Yeah. Not as bad as I rolled.
The single level character did worse than the multi-class. That'll happen sometimes. So you all spend a week in training and you feel just a little bit better about what you can do. You know, you're like, Turgo, you're 3rd level now, Turgo?
Yes, sir.
All right. You're gonna do some second story work. They pretty much require you to go out and attempt to pickpocket people, and it nets you more than the occasional black eye. I mean, it's a thieves
Right.
guild.
Yeah, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah, when you come in and they're like, they tell you how much your tithe to the guild is to level. You're like, well, let me just wait a minute. There's a guy by the door who's like, we've already collected. So yes, you're all just a little bit better at killing. Now, there was some question about your fighting man who'd stayed behind because he was sick. He's now better.
Then he'll be
Yes.
coming with me. That's Carlos.
Carlos has shaken off what ailed him.
And I gave Jeanin gave his 3 people that had come along with him 10 gold pieces apiece for their good service, and he will continue to want their services. So I'm paying for their loyalty. I know.
All right. Well, I mean, 10 gold pieces, you basically have given them the equivalent of 3 months' pay.
Yep.
On top of their normal month's pay. Yep. So I mean, that pretty much buys near fanatical loyalty.
Good.
All right, gentlemen. I think by the big clock on the wall, we've got about a half an hour. So what do you wish to do?
And I will do the same for Nurm and Leo because they've had a pretty rough go of it recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nurm and Leo have kind of taken a beating about the head and shoulders.
But Jeebus is going to go and stock up on some flasks of oil.
Yeah.
Easily done. Just the price is given in the player's handbook for that.
Yeah, I need to grab some arrows and stuff.
Yes, normal arrows.
How much does a barrel of oil cost, though? We go through that stuff.
Yeah. Right.
How big? What kind of barrel?
I want a butt.
A butt.
I want a ton of oil. TON. I would like a hog's head of whale.
Let's see. A butt is 2 hogsheads.
Yeah.
All right. So a butt is approximately 130 gallons. Now, by a pint, you didn't think I was going to do this. You thought I would just do it. So let's see.
That's whatever that number is times 8. It's gallons, 8 pints in a gallon.
Yes. So it is 1 gold piece for a pint flask of oil. So 8 for a gallon. So 130 times 8.
Mm-hmm. Break out the fire hose, kids.
Rad. And I am buying those 2 banded lanterns for our snakehead headlights.
Sure. That is 1,040 gold. Do you wish to buy a butt of lamp oil?
One day.
One day we'll be rich enough.
One day.
One day you'll be rich enough. Bejeebus will be able to cast Tensor's floating disc or levitate or telekinesis it to bring it along in the dungeon, and then you'll make me pay, right?
I'm just gonna buy a sprayer, like a gallon like glass sprayer, and just walk around with that and a torch.
Flamethrower.
I don't want to give too much away, but there actually is a flamethrower in A1 slave pits of the Undercity. Uzug, get the Flammenwerfer, the big Flammenwerfer. But it is an extremely unwieldy thing. I think rightly so. Dave Cook didn't want players wheeling that thing out of the dungeon and using it just any old place. Okay, so assuming you're not going to buy a butt of oil, now a hogshead is only half that. If you got 500 gold and you want a smaller one,
one day.
Let's see,
one day.
A cask.
I am going to buy another dozen arrows, though. I have 4 gold left.
A gold a pint, or?
Yes, oil is a gold a pint for a flask.
5-gallon barrel would just be 40. And that's 40 pints.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you would have to have flasks to drain it into, and we're not doing the whole. But I'll take a bellows and a leather bag and a sheep's stomach and a hot coal. No.
You have a file. You have a torch boy. The torch boy stands in front of you. You take the bellows and the sheep's stomach and just.
He doesn't have an eyebrow on his right side or any hair on his arm, but it's a living foosh.
So do me a favor, lad, duck.
Let's see. How much for a 5-gallon barrel of oil? Oh, that was the question. Okay. Will a donkey eat salted snake meat, though? Not to rain on anybody's parade, but contrary to popular belief, yeah, cows, horses, donkeys, they're all pretty much just omnivores. They will eat. They'll eat grass and hay and corn and stuff like that by preference. But yeah, you throw some boiled shrimp in front of a horse and watch it go to town. I mean, like, hey, that's direct protein. I don't have to wait 10 hours to get any protein out of that. That goes straight into me. Look at that. Yeah, donkeys are omnivores. Yep. Okay. What you doing, adventurers?
Shall we go back to the castle?
If we got everything we need.
Yeah. Turgo, did you buy an extra dozen arrows?
Yeah.
An extra dozen?
Yeah. You want
them? I can hold them for you.
Yeah. Right. Well, I owe
put them
you
on the cart.
a dozen.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care about that. I just want to.
You don't care about this. Yeah. Well, all I've got is I got another quiver of 12 that's separate, and then a quiver of 12 silvers, and then a quiver of 24 regulars.
Wow.
So I've got 24 and 12 and 12 silver sets.
But
yeah, it's not like I carry all those.
I'll buy an extra dozen because I have a quiver that holds 40. So that way, if you need it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, question for the DM.
Yes, sir.
Can I use a shield and my bill at the same time?
Yeah. I mean, of course you can. You tuck a pole arm under your arm and use it with a shield. Of course you can.
Awesome.
Or you rest it on top of the shield or whatever. But pole arm and shield, that's as old as pole arms and shields, really.
I didn't. Some D&D rules are weird, and that's why I figured I'd ask.
No, sure, of course. I mean, if you're saying, can I use a two-handed sword and a shield? No, that's right there on the tin. Two-handed sword. Yeah.
Not very well at all. But yeah, okay. So then I'm going to get my hands on a large shield, if that's okay.
Sure, that's fine.
Word. Are there pavises? Can I get a pavise?
I'm sorry. What?
A pavise is like a great shield. What we would think of as it's basically like a moving wall. And that's
it's got a kickstand.
Yeah, they come up to it. They come up to about chest height if resting on the ground.
Not as such.
Okay.
What are mantlets used in sieges that are similar?
Yeah. That's basically what a pavise, like a pavise is just a smaller one, basically. It's just used to hide behind for crossbowmen, that kind of thing.
Sounds like a pavise of crap.
Hey, it'll plug a doorway.
No, make a note on your character sheet, please. That's 10 extra experience points.
15 gold. Okay.
It's not a bad idea to travel down a hallway with that occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
Lynx, you were going to get hirelings, some men-at-arms?
Yeah, but with paying for a level up, I'm pretty much tapped out.
Okay.
My armor class is now 2.
Woo.
Provided I'm not using my greatsword.
So I was asking again if the plan was, are we going to go back to the castle?
Yes.
Okay. So after the dramatic shopping montage, which came right after the dramatic training montage.
Okay. You don't really run into anything along your way, at least the way to the Last Chance Inn, other than a group of merchants who you suspect are probably the ones from Verbabank who are stopping at the Last Chance Inn. Unless you guys wish to specifically stop, they wave in greeting, but they do not stop for you.
Keep moving.
Try the snake meat. It's great.
That snake meat's pretty old now.
Well, they just keep
Yeah.
it going on the fire.
It's like that sub Homer had in that Simpsons episode. Homer, you still eating part of that sub? Yes. It's like gray. All right. So let's see. You make your way back to your encampment, and it is much as you left it. It does not appear to have been stomped flat, booby-trapped, replaced with a cabin and stable-sized mimic, or any of the kind. What do, adventurers?
What time of day is it?
It is actually night.
Yeah, I guess we rest for the evening and get ready for the next day.
Yeah.
Yep. We can find out just everything that has changed since we were gone. How the orcs may have refortified.
At this point, we're going to see a for sale sign. They're not going to stay.
Yeah. The hobgoblins may have taken over. We still haven't dealt with them yet.
One thing I didn't get to do while in the town that I just noticed looking at my sheet. What could I have sold those 2 scimitars for? Half price?
Yeah, I mean they're orcish, so maybe half price.
Third.
If you the third, if you found a weaponsmith who took pity on you and was willing to put the work in to clean them up, so you could sell them probably for about what you paid him to clean them up.
Yeah, I'll take 5 gold each for them. That's fine.
Okay.
I need the cash. I won't complain.
Alrighty, so into the castle you go. For those of you keeping track, let's see. Look at the old weather and see what we've got. It has warmed up somewhat. Relative,
What day are we on? Because that was like 9 days, so...
Well, actually, it was more than 9 days. We took 2 days to travel. The day for selling stuff, 7 days for training, buying stuff, 2 more days to travel. It's basically 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it is actually late cold even. And so 2 weeks we had free day.
I met Lady EverQuest on the 12th.
that about tracks, and then you got dragged into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2 days of travel. It is Star Day. Other than a nice 3-hour thunderstorm and wind from the west, and the coldest being Still above freezing. It's actually moderately warm today. You can shuck your heavier cloaks. So you splash through puddles and mud and so on and etc., and you find yourselves back inside Castle Greyhawk proper. It is dismal, it is wet, and yes, the zombie house is still a pile of now wet ashes. It hasn't respawned, for lack of a better term.
Probably left. I left Carlos back at the longhouse to guard.
Okay.
So I'm only bringing in 3 of my hirelings at the moment.
All right. Carlos is fine with that. So, he steps out in the morning. It's just slightly above freezing. And he's like, I don't know, sir. I feel like the illness could rebound. Perhaps I should stay here, keep the fire stoked, ready to receive you should you need to retreat and rest yourselves.
You take care of yourself, Carlos.
I will, my lord. I will. That I could draw steel with you. You're starting to get the feeling that perhaps you can hawk Carlos the next time you need money because he's a bit of a gold brick.
Yes.
All right. So, are you entering the usual way, adventurers?
May as well.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
I'll shimmy
Bear
down
with
first.
me. All right. Let me turn the studio lights round so not just you guys, but our valued viewers can see what all the hubbub on the tabletop is about. If you're new to the streams, and we do have some new viewers, and I thank you all for signing up. If you like this kind of content, do please click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications. Consider supporting us on Patreon or Subscribestar. We do appreciate all the help we can get. But I'm going to have to turn the studio lights around so folks can see the tabletop. Pardon me just a moment while I get everything going here. Let's go to desktop view.
While he's shifting around cameras, what is our goal? To continue with
treasure.
Orcs? Oh, okay. I meant more specific. Obviously, kill things. Get their
3
treasure.
inches of 3 inches of blood. Wrote a lovely song about this.
I'm all up for continuing on with the Orcs. I just want to make sure that we know what our plan is.
That's all I got.
Get the
Yeah.
Orcs? Okay.
fine with the Orcs.
Yes, we will get the Orcs.
Eventually, I need to find a ghoul and kill it.
Why?
Well, you don't remember? That was one of my very first quests. We've not gotten down to the 3rd level yet. We're still on the 1st level of the dungeon.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't even found stairs yet.
That's right. You were compelled to kill the Ghoul King. So, hang on a second. Like I said, I'll flip the lights around.
We still got a demon down under the place we sleep or whatever, right? Remember that guy that almost killed me?
It's under the house that we burned.
Oh yeah.
It's under
That
the
might
zombie
be a nice
house.
little XP pickup.
But our weapons did nothing.
Right.
We
We'll
need
have
weapons
magic.
of particular puissance.
Maybe if I hit it hard enough with my greatsword.
Do your magic gauntlets let you punch ghosts?
Maybe. I can
Hit it
try.
with the door.
Yeah, hit it with a door, a magic door. Cast enchant item on the door, then you can use it as a magic weapon.
I mean, that's like as far as Sir Average's mentality would be. It's like the gauntlets have gotten me this far. It's just like, all right, let's try it.
Punch
He'll do
a
anything
ghost.
once.
Greetings, viewers. I hope I didn't leave everyone in a feedback loop there. It occurred to me, if I can hear my headphones on the other side of the room and I'm hanging my headphones on my mic here, it might have been able to hear everyone too. So I apologize if anyone is now clutching their hands over their ears because they got a hornful of feedback right in the old brain box.
We were good.
Is the Ghoul King related to Jim Morrison? No, that's the Lizard King. Close, but no cigar. Okay, Veloric is praying for cure light wounds, hold person, find traps, and spiritual hammer. Look at you, all outfitted with saving spells.
He's
Poor
a big
old
boy
person.
now.
Find traps. Hey, you're muscling in on Turgo territory there.
Yeah, I figured it didn't hurt to have a backup, you know.
Now,
I figured
now,
you can go first, then I'll back you up. How about that?
you didn't. Let's see. There we go.
It's like
That
the
looks
best low-level cleric spell. I swear to God.
Which
You
one?
didn't have.
Old person.
You didn't have to. You didn't have to memorize find traps. Remember, audience, any player in AD&D can find traps once.
Sir Average has found many traps. Jeanin has found a few.
Indeed.
We're doing great.
Okay, I think AWIG is coming in a little bit late. Smoke and salt together is what I mean. Bacon and ham exist from long-term preservation. We're already on the next page, AWIG.
We're still talking
I
about
think
the
he's-
snake meat.
I think he's talking about the snake meat, and I don't blame him. I mean, like I said, snake meat is tasty. All right. Nothing terrible happens when you climb down into the cistern. And once again, we are going to go to using a miniature as a guidon rather than me picking up handfuls of minis and moving them. So the party is here, and we will use the guidon there for Turgo.
Has anything changed much? Specifically, we were going to go in the orc direction. I want to know if like the door is back on its hinges and type stuff.
The door is back on its hinges, actually.
Okay. So they have tidied up.
Little bit, yeah.
Shall
Let
we
me pull back a little bit. I'm a little zoomed in, I think.
Shall we open the orc door or check it for traps first, etc., etc.?
Does it push in or pull?
It pulls. It opens out into the cistern.
I have a bell hook.
He does.
Do
Have
your
to pull
thing.
it open with nobody there.
Well, the party's all coming down the rope, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
Well,
Yeah,
I
so
assume
what-
you wait for us to all get down.
Yeah, right. That's a 3 to yank open that door then.
Okay. You rolled a 3, you mean, or
Yeah.
okay.
I open doors on like a 1 to 4, 1 to 5.
Okay. Sure. The door grates open. When you do that, there is a rather loud twang, and an entire bed of spikes swings out. It's an array, basically. It's like a portcullis has been repurposed for this, except it pivots outward. And had someone opened the door, they would have gotten a face, abdomen, chest, shoulder, thigh, groin, and shin full of rather sharp-looking iron spikes.
I'm glad I'm 10 feet away.
You are.
Okay, Turgo, have fun.
Thank you. Yeah, we'll go ahead and move along like we usually do.
Okay, you've got this bed of spikes in your way. What are you doing about that?
All right. Does there appear to be some sort of visible way to disarm it? What would that be? Propping it up toward the ceiling so that it doesn't push back down to the floor? Or
Well, it's swung out. I guess it rotated counterclockwise from the door jamb, so it swung in from the side rather than popped up from the floor.
oh, okay. Yeah, so there should be a way to wedge that, right? Can I take my 10-foot pole and kind of wedge that open and spike it with an iron spike.
Give me an open doors roll, or I can roll it. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll roll. Sure. No.
Yeah, you lean on your pole. It's not budging.
Well, if it's a matter of just being too heavy, Gene
That's easy.
And Sir Average, we can heft it up out of the way or over to the side, however it goes.
Okay.
Just
All right.
open doors, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just one of you make an open doors roll, and just don't roll a 6. I think at this point,
Yep, I got it.
Okay, yeah, you're able to push it back out of the way, and there's some kind of mechanism that it's fiendishly clever. It uses a rope wrapped around a log that dropped when the door was open, and the counterweight yanked the bed of spikes forward. It occurred to me I'm like gesturing as how all this worked, and none of you can see me, so
Can I disarm that? Does it take any special?
it is. I mean, yeah. If you want to disarm it, you're gonna have to make a disarm roll, but nothing
All
bad
right.
will probably happen if you fail.
All right, I'll try that. I've got a 30% chance,
All right.
and that's a 82.
Yeah, you have no idea. This is gears and pulleys, and they didn't teach you about this back at the academy.
Practice makes perfect.
Want to just chop
I'm a
it up?
diplomat. I failed piloting school. No, it's okay. It'll be fine. It works just like a truck. Good.
What
What
is
is a
truck?
truck? All right.
Can we spike it then?
Yeah. I mean, you can drive a spike in and stop it from swinging back open. But as far as
You'd
making
want
the
her to go.
mechanism like
Right.
permanently not work, like if somebody just comes in and whacks that spike with a mallet, the whole thing is back in business. So
Well, I'll place one of my iron spikes then, if that's
Okay.
all right with everyone.
already it is done. All right. As you are doing that, you are keeping your ears open, and your thiefly good sense tells you that, sitting here in the dark after I just after a trap that, is loud and bulky, and we've been talking amongst ourselves in normal conversational voice, somebody's bound to have heard that, and they were right. You hear basically the order to fire being given in Orcish somewhere in the darkness. So we'll go around the table, but we'll start with Turgo because you're on the pointy end. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm going to try to leap out of the way of the doorway to the right.
Okay. Bejeebus and Veloric?
Bejeebus is ready in his crossbow, and Veloric will step to the side as well to get out of everybody else's way.
Okay. How about Jeanin?
Jeanin and his men-at-arms will get out of the way so they're not in the line of fire.
Lynx?
I'm going to kind of go to the side of the door. So I'm out of the way of whoever's coming through.
Average?
Can I charge forward and leap that pit?
You can not in a charge move, no.
Well,
A
no,
charge
like
is-
not end attack, but I mean, can I leap? Like, is it actually possible in AD&D for a fighter to leap that pit?
I mean, sure, probably. How encumbered are you?
Not
I know you
very.
got no, okay.
I mean, my strength is maxed out. I'm
Mhm.
only carrying my basic gear, my plate, and my shield.
The plate puts you at 6-inch movement.
Yeah,
It's usually encumbered.
yeah. That's the only
Um,
thing slowing my movement, though. It's
Yeah.
not really weight
Yeah.
and coin.
Yeah, but as far as the flexibility, being a dwarf, this is kind of something you've sort of got your finger on. It's not so much the weight as the limberness to do it, so probably not, no.
I'll just dive out of the way, though.
Okay. All right. Doomsword, roll initiative, please.
2.
Okay. Many black-fletched arrows are headed Doomsword's way. There we go.
We're gonna have to call you Doom Arrow.
Yeah.
Doom Fish.
Call him the Hat Rack. And Doomsword's armor class, please.
6.
6, okay. Let's have a gander because shame on me. I got an edge case, and we all know how much I got those. But you did take 2 arrows as you dove out of the way for a total of 7 points of damage. Thud, thud.
I was an adventurer until I took an arrow in the knee.
Yeah. Well, you took one in the thorax and one in the high shoulder, so you can still be an adventurer.
Oh, okay, great. Thanks.
All right.
If you take that in the knee, you just kind of fall apart like one of those plastic toys.
Yeah, it's like the little bendy toys on the base. You push on the bottom and they just kind of fall over. You got the elastic through them, something like that. And Pluto the dog and a Pink Panther one when I was a kid, and that's the thing you know now about me.
Beating yourself real hard with those.
Doxing myself, you can use that against me. What do we know about Bill Sylvie? Well, he's been on the internet for 30 years, but he just revealed he had the little bendy toys. We got him. All right. It's the key to him.
Little bendy toys.
Little bendy toys. No, actually, I'm not a toy collector by any stretch of the imagination. I love my Star Wars toys and will hang on to them forever. But if I was going to spend a stupid amount of money on something that I had in my childhood, it would be a Shogun Warriors, one of the like 5-inch metal ones that came straight from Japan. The Radar, not Radar, R-A-D-A-R, but Radar, like. Okay, that's another arrow hit, unfortunately. And that is 3 more points. Sorry, it took me a moment. Sorry. Flock. All right, are you still alive?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I've rolled excellently for hit points every level.
All right, well, that's good because
just keep digging that in there.
Yep.
Well, now I've got less than you. How about that?
Okay. So yeah, arrows come whining out of the darkness and skipping off stones, but you hear a nice meaty thud, thud, thud as 3 of them impact Turgo. We are almost. We are at the bottom of the hour, so we're going to finish out this round and wrap up here tonight, I think, folks. So all of you are diving for cover, I'm assuming. And you ordered the men-at-arms to dive for cover too, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. The men-at-arms are flattening themselves on either side of the door. Turgo, you're just inside on the right. So you are driving the iron wedge into the mechanism when you heard the voices, and you opted to dive out of the way, correct?
Right. Well, it was my understanding that the spike had already been done, but maybe it had.
Okay. Well, true. Yeah, that's true. You couldn't have done it. So yeah, that's a done deal. I'm not quite so cruel as to say, the spike swings back in the way and now you're trapped in there with the orcs.
It's what it is.
So you're on the inside of the door. You have 3 new attachment points to install hardware into as you see necessary. The rest of the party, you've gone to ground for cover. In the next round, when we meet back up next week, I mean, this is a perfect cliffhangery spot. you will have to decide what to do about these snipers in the dark. Sound good?
I think Veloric
Yes.
runs across the hallway and heals me, and then, then we're all good.
We wait for them to run out of arrows.
And we collect those arrows and put them into our packs.
Exactly.
We fire
Correct.
their arrows
Just-
back.
We throw
Yes,
snakes
we don't even
in
need
the
the
hall.
battle now.
I didn't notice that like during the first few playthroughs of Morrowind, and it continued on to Oblivion, and then of course Skyrim and all of its add-on packs. When you get hit with arrows, a certain percentage of those become available to you in your inventory. I think
Yeah.
that's pretty badass, actually. Well, all right, folks, we're gonna go ahead and wrap up. Thank you to our audience tonight. Had a lot of fun chatting with you guys about Stranger Things. Thank you, of course, to our AD&D players. I will be back tomorrow evening, and we're going to jump straight into the frozen lungs of hell and do the same kind of overlook at G2 Glacial Rift of the Frost Giant Jarl as we did G1 Steading of the Hill Giant Chief as part of my overview of that module series. Thursday, we've got a special guest coming. I don't want to spoil it, but we do have a guest on Thursday. That's going to be a lot of fun. And Friday, of course, I hope everyone will be here for some Let's Play Gamma World. And then we'll start the whole crazy thing up again on Monday, and we'll just roll on through the week. Next week, Kyle will be here to talk about Morkborg and all sorts of fun stuff. So thank you all for being here. Have an absolutely great evening. Random Internet Hijinks says, oh, look, I have a new spell. I forgot to mention Summon Flammenwerfer. That's casting Fire Trap on all your flasks of oil and jumping from a cliff onto the enemy. But anyhow, y'all have an absolutely wonderful evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Peace out.
See ya.